I'm Barry Keoghan, and this is the Wired Auto. This is the Wired Autocomplete interview. I'm so bad with lines. Like honestly, I am. Okay. Why? Why what? Why was Barry Keoghan Joker scene deleted? Okay, not deleted. One of the scenes was deleted. It was deleted from the movie, but it still exists because, it came out after the movie, which I thought was quite a nice moment. I think as well, everyone wants to see the Joker, so. I'm carefully answering this because I can't say much, so. Oh, why was Barry Keoghan shot in Love Hate? Throwback. Spoiler alerts for everything, by the way. But I was shot in Love Hate because it's a Gangland TV series, and if you see it, you see what mischief Wayne, the character, gets up to, and he's running around with the wrong people. But yeah.
Did he deserve it?
No, he could have learned from it. I mean, he's so young, isn't it? Why does Barry Keoghan play weird characters? No, I think I just play characters and then they end up being weird because I played them. Is the truth. I like complex characters. I like characters that aren't so on the nose. I like complicated characters and complicated relationships in movies, and I like sort of giving the audience a character that they all want to see, and it's sort of like their guilty pleasure, and they enjoy it, and use are the ones going to see it, and I try to play every part with truth and honesty, and a lot of them have been words. Over my shoulder like this. Okay. Who is Barry Keoghan in The Immortal Man? I play Duke Shelby in The Immortal Man, the Peaky Blinders movie. Yeah. Go see it and you'll find out.
What resonated with the character Duke with you?
What resonated? I mean, he's young and handsome, so I think that does it all for me, I think. Barry Keoghan, Cillian Murphy. I'd work with Cillian on every movie. It'd be kind of weird to do every movie with Cillian, but if that chance comes up again, I'll do it. He's such a legend at home, and he's, if not one of our, if not the greatest, and it's a pleasure to share the screen with him as his son.
Since Cillian has been his character for so long and you came in for this movie, was it a learning curve to feel comfortable in the world, or did you feel comfortable right away?
That's a great question. Yeah, it's a lot, being a fan of the show as well, coming in and doing scenes with Tommy Shelby, it's quite a thing when he's walking towards you. You feel quite scared and nervous, but I guess they wanted, sort of my take on it, and, not to be thinking about the whole history of the show. What happened to Barry Keoghan's character in Dunkirk? Oh, okay, spoiler would be, I died, I fell down the stairs and died, but it was this guy that made me die. He hit me with an elbow. My dad in this movie. It's crazy. This all links together. Grateful to work with Chris Nolan, and, I was on a boat for all of it. The movie was a massive, planes and boats, but our scene sort of felt very intimate because it was in a very small space and there's no monitors on set. And Chris he's got this monitor that's, it looks like a Nintendo, but he looks at, he knows what he wants, and that's why he's a master at what he does, because he sees it once and he's like, yeah, I got it. Number 3. How did Barry Keoghan get into acting? It was a street casting of a movie called Between the Canals, and I was in Dublin, I was young, and I seen a notice, and there was a boxing club in a shop I used to go to around the corner called Kathleen's, and I seen the number on the notice in the window, and took the number and rang it and got an open audition. I'd done a school play or two, and I loved it. I loved what it gave me, and I loved the idea of, performing, and this was sort of my avenue into it. How is Barry Keoghan in DC and Marvel? I don't know. Batman is DC and Eternals is Marvel. It's not something that I've went to go, I want to go and, get into DC and get into Marvel. I think the movies come under the bracket of DC and Marvel, and that's what it is. I'm very grateful to be part of, two massive comic book homes that I've read growing up. How did Barry Keoghan feel about Saltburn? How did you feel about Saltburn? Because you're writing this question. I mean, do you know what I mean? How did I feel about Saltburn after I seen it for the first time? Very proud of it. Always very, very proud and grateful to see the final edit, and I'm always like interested in how people receive it. Some people loved it, some people hated it, and some people whatever, and it's up to you to receive it whatever way you want. I remember Emerald saying it as well, like, it's sort of like the guilty pleasure thing of your character's up there and he's doing these things, and the curiosity of you as an audience member is sort of like, I wonder what, or if he done that, oh, and you're also enjoying it, I think it pushes you into a place of like, are we meant to enjoy this or not? And I think that's part of the whole immersive process and seeing a movie. Toss it away. Can Barry Keoghan? Yes, he can. Is Barry Keoghan? Oof. Does anyone leave these ones in? Like, is that... there we go. It's me asking all the questions. Can Barry Keoghan sing? Ooh. Yeah. Great singer. I love obviously singing when no one's around. I love listening to my little boy sing. I think that's beautiful. He loves, the... Up, the K-pop song. And when he sings that, that's absolutely gorgeous. And I just totally in love with it. I'm Irish. I mean, that's all we do is sing. We tell stories. We're storytellers. And Barry Keoghan do an American accent. American Animals is when I've done an American accent. Like any country, I mean, it's now a voice, it's now voices that I'm interested in. Accents, not so much. The tone of the voice, the depth of the voice, the where it sits, is it a high pitch, is it a low pitch? So I think the accent sort of comes last, if I'm honest. Is Barry Keoghan a Manchester United fan? Yes, I am. I also have a second cousin, Frank Stapleton, who played for Manchester United many, many years ago. We're doing quite well. It's hard to get the games here when you're across in the States because of the time difference. But yeah, I am a Manchester United fan. Hoo-hoo. Will Barry Keoghan return as Joker? I cannot answer that question, truly, sincerely. Cannot talk about that. Does Barry Keoghan box? Yeah, I do. I train, again, just going back to, the boxing club and how it links into when I started acting, but I love to train. I love to run. I love to spar. I love to skip. I grew up kind of training, and it's sort of a meditative thing for me, and it gets me into a place of starting my routine. And so I love boxing. I love training. Yeah. Barry Keoghan, Orman. Okay. Fact. That's a fact. I play Orman. Crime 101. Orman is a complicated character, a lost soul. Bring it back to working with filmmakers. Bart Layton, is a close friend of mine. He done American Animals, and I love Bart, truly. Bart came to me with this part and wanted me to do it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Great part to play in a great movie. Barry Keoghan, a legend. Barry Keoghan dance scene so bad. Yep. That is it. It's crazy, isn't it, that scene? It was wrote at Dance in My Clothes. Written, it was Dance in My Clothes. We chatted about it, and, it's sort of like when we dance and we get out of the shower, if there's music playing, or we do it in spaces that we're comfortable with and spaces that we own, when we're alone. That was the whole point for Oliver, and me and Emerald discussed it. It was like, this is my mansion now. There was something also beautiful, not just saying it because it was me naked, but seeing this figure, these limbs move around this sort of, frame that looked like a painting. And to have a song like Murder on the Dance Floor play over it, was just, I think it was iconic. That's it. Okay, that's all the boards, and thank you for having me until next time, and keep searching all your weird questions.